I want someone with your age, your wisdom, your heart. Not someone young, not someone who is still figuring life out, but someone who has already lived, someone who knows, someone like you. If you are listening this and you are in your 50 or 60, if you have lived and learned and grown, if you know who you are, comment yes below, because I am not looking for youth. I am looking for depth. I am looking for wisdom. I am looking for a real woman. I am looking for you. My hands are steady as I write this, because I am certain, absolutely certain, I know what I want, and I am not ashamed to say it. I want a woman who has lived long enough to understand life, who has experienced enough to have wisdom, who has been through enough to have depth. A woman in her 50th or 60s, a woman your age, and that is not me settling, that is me choosing, deliberately, consciously choosing you. Let me tell you about your age and why it matters to me, why it is not something I am overlooking, why it is actually what makes you perfect. Your age means you have lived, you have seen things, done things, experienced things. You have decades of life behind you, decades of memories, decades of lessons. You are not starting out. You are not figuring things out. You have already figured them out. You know who you are, what you want, what you believe, what matters. And that knowing only comes from living, from years, from your age. Your age means you have perspective. You can see the big picture. You understand that most problems are not as serious as they seem, that most drama is not worth the energy, that most things that feel urgent today will not matter in a year. You have lived through enough ups and downs to know that life keeps going, that bad times pass, that good times come, that patience pays off. That perspective is wisdom, and wisdom comes from age, from your age. Your age means you are not impressed by surface things. You have seen enough flashiness to know it means nothing. You have seen enough charm to know it can be fake. You have seen enough smooth talk to know it does not equal substance. You look deeper. You value character, integrity, honesty, consistency, real things that last, because you have lived long enough to know what actually matters. That discernment comes from age, from your age. Your age means you know yourself. Really know yourself. Not who you think you should be, not who others want you to be, but who you actually are. You have spent years becoming yourself, discovering yourself, accepting yourself. You know your strengths, your weaknesses, your quirks, your values, your boundaries, and you are comfortable with all of it. That self-knowledge is rare, valuable, attractive, and it only comes from living long enough to figure yourself out. From age, from your age. Now let me tell you about your wisdom. The wisdom that comes from living the years you have lived. Your wisdom means you understand people. You have met enough people to recognize patterns, to see through pretense, to spot red flags, to identify good character. You are not easily fooled, not easily manipulated, not easily charmed into ignoring reality. You see people clearly because you have the experience to know what to look for. That understanding comes from wisdom, from your wisdom. Your wisdom means you know what matters in a relationship. You have maybe been married, maybe been in serious relationships, maybe had your heart broken, maybe broken some hearts yourself. You have learned what works and what does not, what you need and what you can do without, what you will accept and what you will not. You know the difference between passion and love, between excitement and stability, between chemistry and compatibility. That knowledge is wisdom. Your wisdom. Your wisdom means you can communicate, really communicate. You know how to express what you feel, how to ask for what you need, how to listen, how to hear what is not being said, how to work through problems instead of running from them, how to disagree without disrespecting, how to be honest without being cruel. Those communication skills come from years of practice, from learning through mistakes, from wisdom, from your wisdom. Your wisdom means you have emotional maturity. You do not overreact to small things. You do not create drama where none exists. You do not need constant validation. You do not test people to see if they care. You handle your emotions like an adult. You take responsibility for your feelings. You do not blame others for how you feel. You respond instead of react. That maturity is wisdom. Your wisdom, your heart has loved. Maybe you have been married. Maybe you have children. Maybe you have loved deeply and been loved deeply. Your heart knows what real love feels like. Not infatuation, not obsession, not the early excitement that fades, but real love, the kind that grows over time, the kind that deepens with shared experiences, the kind that lasts. Your heart knows that, has felt that, understands that, and that makes you capable of real love in a way that younger hearts are not yet capable of. Your heart has been broken, maybe by divorce, maybe by death, maybe by betrayal, maybe by loss. Your heart has felt real pain, deep pain, the kind that changes you, and you survived it. You healed from it, you grew from it. Your heart is stronger because of it, more resilient, more careful, more wise, and that strength makes you able to love without fear, without holding back, without protecting yourself so much that you cannot really connect. Your broken heart became a stronger heart, a wiser heart, a better heart. Your heart has learned forgiveness. You have been hurt by people you loved, and you learned to forgive, not because they deserved it, but because you deserved peace. You learned that holding grudges hurts you more than them, that forgiveness is freedom, that letting go is strength. Your heart knows how to forgive, how to move on, how to not let past hurts poison present relationships. That forgiveness is a gift, and your heart has learned to give it. Your heart has learned gratitude. You have lived long enough to lose people you love, to have relationships end, to realize that nothing lasts forever. And that has taught your heart to appreciate what you have while you have it, to not take people for granted, to value time together, to say the important things while you still can. Your heart knows that life is precious, that love is precious, that every day with someone you care about is a gift, that gratitude makes your heart more loving, more present, more able to truly connect. Your heart has learned patience. You know that good things take time, that relationships need time to develop, that trust is built slowly, that intimacy grows gradually. Your heart does not need instant gratification, does not need everything right now, can wait, can let things unfold naturally, can give a relationship space to grow. That patience creates room for real connection to develop. And your heart has learned that patience. This is why I want someone with your age, your wisdom, your heart. Because those three things together create something rare, something valuable, something I cannot find in someone younger. You are not still becoming, you have become. You are not still learning, you have learned. You are not still growing into yourself. You have grown. You are complete, whole, fully formed. And that completion is exactly what I am looking for. Let me tell you what I do not want, so you understand why age matters, why youth is not what I am seeking. I do not want someone who is still figuring out who she is, who changes her mind constantly about what she wants, who is trying on different versions of herself to see what fits. That uncertainty is exhausting. I want someone who already knows, who is settled into herself, who is confident in who she is. That certainty comes from age, from your age. I do not want someone who needs constant reassurance, who needs me to validate her every day, who questions her worth, who compares herself to others, who worries about aging or changing or not being perfect. I want someone who knows her value, who is secure in herself, who accepts herself completely. That self-acceptance comes from maturity, from living long enough to realize perfection is not the goal. Being yourself is. That acceptance comes from age, from your age. I do not want drama. I do not want games. I do not want tests to see if I really care. I do not want passive-aggressive behavior. I do not want having to guess what is wrong. I want direct communication, honest expression, adult conflict resolution. That emotional maturity comes from experience, from learning better ways to handle problems, from age, from your age. I do not want someone whose value system is still developing, who is still figuring out what she believes, what she stands for, what she will accept and what she will not. I want someone with established values, clear boundaries, strong principles. That moral clarity comes from living, from making choices, from learning from consequences, from age, from your age. I do not want surface connection, small talk, shallow conversations, pretending, performing, hiding who you really are. I want depth, real conversations, vulnerability, authenticity, the ability to connect on a meaningful level. That depth comes from having lived long enough to develop an inner life worth sharing, from age, from your age. Let me tell you what society gets wrong about age, especially about women and age. Society says youth is beauty, that younger is better, that women peak in their 20 seconds and decline from there, that aging is something to fight, something to hide, something to be ashamed of. And that is completely wrong, totally backwards. Youth is potential, but you are actualized potential. Youth is promise, but you are fulfillment. Youth is becoming, but you have become. And that is far more beautiful. Society values smooth skin over character, but I value character. Smooth skin fades. Everyone ages, but character deepens. Experience enriches, wisdom grows, and those things make you more attractive as you age, not less. Society values the energy of youth, but I value the peace of maturity. Young energy is often anxious energy, restless energy, uncertain energy. Your energy is calm, grounded, certain, and that peaceful energy is far more attractive than anxious energy. Society values the excitement of new, but I value the depth of experienced. New is fun for a moment, but experience creates something lasting, something substantial, something that satisfies at a deeper level. Society says you are past your prime, but I say you are in your prime. The prime of knowing yourself, the prime of being comfortable in your skin, the prime of having wisdom, the prime of being capable of real love, the prime of being a complete person. That is the real prime, and you're in it. Let me tell you what I see when I look at you. When I see a woman your age, I see the lines around your eyes. Smile lines, laugh lines, evidence of a life lived, evidence of joy experienced, evidence of expressions made. Each line tells a story, and I want to know those stories. Those lines are beautiful to me. They represent your life, your experiences, your journey. They are evidence that you have lived, and that is attractive. I see gray in your hair. Each gray hair is a year lived, a lesson learned, an experience had. Your gray hair is not something to hide. It is something to appreciate. It shows your age, your wisdom, your life, and I find that beautiful, more beautiful than hair colored to hide age, because I am not attracted to pretending. I am attracted to reality, and your gray hair is real. I see a body that shows evidence of living. Maybe you have had children, maybe you have gained weight, maybe you have scars, maybe you have imperfections, and all of that is evidence of a life lived, of a body that has done things, experienced things, been through things. That is not something to apologize for. That is something to own, because that body carried you through life, and I find that beautiful. I see confidence in how you carry yourself, in how you move through the world, in how you take up space without apology. You know who you are comfortable with yourself, you do not shrink. You do not hide. You exist fully. And that confidence is incredibly attractive, more attractive than the uncertain energy of youth. Your confidence comes from age, from wisdom, from your heart knowing its worth. I see grace in how you handle difficult situations, in how you treat people, in how you manage stress. You have been through enough to learn grace under pressure, to learn kindness under strain, to learn patience when it is hard. That grace is beautiful. It is learned. It comes from experience, from age, from wisdom, from your heart having been tested and choosing kindness anyway. Let me tell you what a relationship with you would be like, what I imagine, what I want. It would be honest. We would say what we mean. We would communicate directly. We would not play games. We would not test each other. We would just be real with each other. Because we are both old enough to know that honesty is simpler, better, more respectful. That honesty comes from maturity, from your age, your wisdom, your heart. It would be stable, not boring, but stable. I could count on you. You could count on me. We would show up consistently. We would be reliable. We would keep our word. That stability creates safety. And safety allows real intimacy, real vulnerability, real connection. That stability comes from knowing how to be a partner, from experience, from your age, your wisdom, your heart. It would be deep. Our conversations would matter. Our time together would be meaningful. We would connect on levels that require maturity to access. We would understand each other in ways that require experience to understand. We would build something substantial, something real, something that lasts. That depth comes from both people having depth, from your age, your wisdom, your heart. Let me be even more specific. Let me tell you exactly what your age gives you that attracts me. Your age gives you confidence that younger women do not have yet. You have lived long enough to stop caring what everyone thinks, to stop trying to please everyone, to stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You take up space. You speak your mind. You know your worth. And that confidence is magnetic. It draws me in. It makes me want to know you, want to be near you, want to build something with you. Your age gives you freedom that younger women do not have yet. Maybe your children are grown. Maybe you have built your career. Maybe you have financial security. Maybe you have figured out who you are and what you want. That freedom means you can choose a relationship because you want it, not because you need it. And being chosen by someone who is free to choose is the greatest compliment, the greatest validation, the greatest gift. Your age gives you stories that younger women do not have yet. You have lived, you have traveled maybe, you have had careers, you have raised children maybe, you have had adventures. You have made mistakes, you have had triumphs, you have accumulated decades of experiences. And those stories make you interesting, make conversations with you rich, make knowing you rewarding. I want to hear those stories. I want to know your history. I want to understand the journey that made you who you are. Share this if it spoke to you, if it made you feel seen, valued, appreciated for who you are. Share it with other women who need to hear that their age is valuable, that their wisdom matters, that their heart is beautiful. Subscribe to see what happens, to follow this journey, to see if she responds. Because I will share it. I will tell you when I find her. When I find a woman with the age, the wisdom, the heart that I'm looking for, just comment yes and let me know you exist. Because I am looking for you. And your age, your wisdom, your heart are exactly what I want.